Hey, good morning. Good morning. Happy New Year. Wow, right? It happened. It actually happened. I want you to know something that I couldn't have put in words better than one of my favorite writers, who is Clarissa Pinkola Estes. I don't know if you've seen this post already in the Courageous Confidence group on Facebook. But I would like to read this to you because it is really, really gorgeous. And then I'm going to talk to you about fun, about how we get to courage through fun and what the hell that even means. It's so much fun. Okay, so she wrote this poem called Midwives of the Soul. We do not become healers. We came as healers. We are. Some of us are still catching up to what we are. We do not become storytellers. We came as carriers of the stories that we and our ancestors actually lived. We are. Some of us are still catching up to what we are. We do not become artists. We came as artists. We are. Some of us are still catching up to what we are. We do not become writers, dancers, musicians, helpers, peacemakers. We came as such. We are. Some of us are still catching up to what we are. We do not learn to love in this sense. We came as love. We are. Some of us are still catching up to who we truly are. Clarissa Pinkola Estes is an absolutely magical writer. She wrote Women Who Run with the Wolves, which is just an insane, incredible book. The reason I read that to you is because I have thought for so long that being courageous meant go for the gold, go and push and make things happen and push through my fear. And there's a lot of stuff out there about that, you know, like be passionate enough about what you want and then you will go for it. And well, what any sort of goal of behavior or action does to you is it then gives you a mark that if you don't reach it, suddenly you have a built-in self-judgment. Oh, you're an idiot, you didn't make it. Oh, and depending on your personality, you will either rise more to the challenge, or you will give up, or you will keep driving, but you'll feel really bad about yourself, right? So there's got to be a better way. And there is a better way. There's always a better way. So I've been on the spiritual path for over 30 years, and I've looked at all sides of that animal. I mean, I've looked at let me put it this way, I've looked at as many sides of that as I possibly could, because I had a lot of questions, and they all had to do with how true is this? How true is that? And even how true is this thought that I have? How true is this thought that God doesn't give me more than I can handle? Because honestly, when I think about it, that has not been true in my life. It depends on how you define handle. When you've had nervous breakdowns, you kind of wonder if God really knows what the hell's going on, because you're like, I'm in pain here, I'm having trouble. So I've investigated, I've looked, and I have to say that the one thing that I am now learning about courage and confidence is that it has much more to do with understanding that there is not a straight line in most people's lives. We are taught to believe in the straight line. If you do this, you'll get this. That's what we're taught to believe in. If you follow these rules, you'll get these results. As a result of that, we end up following a lot of rules that actually hurt us instead of help us. because they may not fit us as people, or because they may not, it may not be the right time in our lives for that thing to happen. The most important, interesting, magical thing that we can do is stop following other people's rules and follow the only rule there is, which is to discover what makes us happy. And that sounds really ludicrous if you're in pain, right? It sounds ridiculous. You're like, yeah, right. Okay, so I'm grieving the loss of my wife, or, I found out that I have this illness or whatever. I mean, you're like, really have fun. Let us take fun by the face and go, excuse me, let's define you, because I'm not talking about going and having a massive party. I'm not talking about feeling like you're in one of those commercials where you've got like the bikini clad women jumping around on the sand going, oh, life is so fantastic. When I say fun, what I'm talking about is this ability to lighten our moments, to lighten any moment we can. I'm talking about the ability to not be stubborn about what we think we know, about what we've been taught, about what we believe. Maybe just a few moments, a few minutes of allowing, a few minutes of saying, you know what? I'm going to act for just a few minutes like I'm not in the driver's seat. I'm not there. That's not me. I'm going to go do something that's completely wacky. Or I'm going to go do something that just makes me feel like I can breathe for a minute. Or I'm going to go and do something that has nothing whatsoever to do with my work. I'm going to do something completely different that nobody in the external world has told me is a path that works. I think the only path we really have is, this is going to sound so weird, so Zen like, is the path of no path. Oh, but here, let me explain. Like I said at the start, when we follow these rules and we say, if I follow these rules, I'm going to get this result, we're not allowing ourselves to be human. We're not allowing ourselves to grow and to develop and to expand. We're just not allowing it. What we're doing is we're trying to make ourselves into machines. It's not your fault. It's not my fault. It's not anybody's fault. We have a culture, we have a system, just like a business system, we have a social system that teaches us that if we walk a certain path, we do a certain set of things, that here are the likelihoods of what you're going to get. And so, because humans are birds of a feather, we love to flock together, we see that most people are succeeding in the prescribed ways. And we say, why am I not succeeding? What's wrong with me? Aw, Happy New Year, Happy New Year. So we say, what is wrong with me? What's happening? Nothing is wrong with you. In fact, first of all, especially when it comes to the survival things that we're going through right now with work and with creating our own businesses, or finding new jobs or taking new directions, holy moly. We've really got to understand that there's not a prescribed way anymore. And instead of being only afraid, because fear and nervousness, that's all good. That's very human of you. Congratulations. But we've also got to get really curious. And we've got to allow ourselves some fun, because what that does is it opens the doors of possibilities. It opens, God, it just opens the world to our view. It lets us be inspired by a different direction, or a new thought, or a new possibility. We haven't been trained in this, okay? We have not been trained. We've been trained, go to school, go every day, complete this set of things, these exams, learn all this stuff, complete the exams, get your degree, get a job. I mean, that's still a thing that's out there. That's still a thing. Follow these rules and you will be safe. And as humans, we like safety. No problem with that over here. I love safety. Thank you. I will take it. We've come to be so safe, however, to be so focused on that we don't realize what lies outside of the core safety that we need. So we tend to feel like anything that is outside the core safeties is really inside. So, do you have support? Do you have food? Do you have shelter? Do you have water? Yes. Okay, good, safe. Do you have a job? No. Okay, core safety. Yes and no. Yes and no. Yes, because that job gives you the money you need to have the core safeties, right? Let's not be naive about this. All right. The part that's no is there are things outside here that will bring you that security and that safety you're looking for. And while you're freaking out, while you're scared, and trust me, I'm not kidding you when I tell you I'm a very intimate friend of fear. I mean, it has been a big thing in my life. I've had to come up against it and meet it and deal with it, and it's been really hard. But when I allow myself to have a little bit of fun, when I allow myself to, in the middle of going, I need to do one more job, I have to fill out one more application. Instead, I pick up some sewing that I wanted to do, or a book that I wanted to read, or some pens so I can do some artwork for half an hour. In that moment of relaxation, of fun, that kind of fun, that fun of like, I'm going to stop being so freaking focused on what it is that I'm trying to make happen, that I'm going to allow things to happen. When I let myself have a little bit of fun, call a friend, eat half a cake. I mean, but don't do it because you're depressed. Something that lifts you, something that gives you a sense of oxygen and love and joy and laughter. And oh my God, when you let that energy in, and it can be small, it can be so small. Oh my God. You can be feeling like you are a piece of dung 1 second. And then I wish I had it next to me. I just put it away. And you pick up a piece of your artwork and you start start drawing, and you go, that's pretty good. I like that. Here, let me add this here. Oh, that would be so good in purple. Okay, let me get that. Okay, I'm going to make that purple. And you sit there and you look at it, you go, God dang, I am good. Wow, I am so freaking, this is gorgeous. In that moment, you are allowing yourself to live outside of this supposed, if I do this, I will get that. And you are finding what really moves you, what really puts you on your path, what really opens you to the mystery. Because honest to God, if it were true that all we have to do is follow the rules and we will be rich, happy, in love, gorgeous, I would be all of the above like 30 years ago. Because I know how to effort, man. I know how to effort. I know how to follow rules. Oh, I can follow rules like a mofo. I really can. I love rules. I do. So I've had to learn how to step outside of them because they kept failing me. Have they failed you? Have you followed the rules and they've just failed you? It's not your fault. It's actually a weird ass kind of gift. It's a gift. It's a gift to you. It says, can you look outside here for a second and see what's outside the rules? Because while you're following, you can keep following these. That's cool. Follow those. Meanwhile, over here, there's like, a garden growing, and there's like a bunch of people who are having a great time over here who you might want to talk to. And There are answers to what you want to do and be that are outside of this path of rules. So while you're walking those necessary paths of following rules, necessary because we've been trained to do it, and you're not going to change the way that you've been set by pushing against it. You're going to have to bring in other stuff. You're going to have to bring in more lightness. You're going to have to bring in more laughter, more ease. It's like my spiritual teacher Amachi says. Let me see if I can do this without messing this up, because it's kind of early for me. I didn't sleep well last night. So if you have a glass of salt water, you can't pull the salt out, but you can add a buttload of sugar. I know she didn't say it that way, but you can add a buttload of sugar. You can. And that's where the magic is. So have some fun. Think about where you can invite in some ease, some exhaling, some breath, some of the unexpected into your day. I actually now do networking because it brings in the unexpected. The people I've met, holy moly, no lie. I've received no fewer than 5 free healings from various kinds of healers: neuro-linguistic programmer, past lives reader, Akashic lives reader. I mean, all of these amazing people who I've met, and it brings in the unexpected and it moves me and my life forward. So have a little fun, have a little release, have it on me. Have a marvelous week. Love and Moxie. See you later.